everybody, and welcome back to more patch 2.4 coverage on the PTS. My name is Zen, and I'll be showing you yet again another boss in the Dread Fortress. This is the third boss, and his name is Grob'Thok. It's kind of, or Grob'Thok, or whatever you want to call him, but he's a Rancor, and he's freaking awesome. I actually love this boss, especially as a tank. It keeps me busy the entire fight, which I can unfortunately say is not the case for the rest of the bosses in here. However, this one is quite interesting, and he's got a few things going for him. The first thing are those ads that you see running around there. They just basically burn them down. They're super easy to kill. The second thing is a debuff he'll put on a random raid member. It's just like the thing from Kefis and TFB. You know, it'll do like a debuff on the ground as it moves to the target. If you run through it, it'll do damage to you. If the actual thing gets to the target, it'll do damage to them. You don't want any of that extra damage. But it also applies an armor debuff, unlike the one on Kefis, or damage taken debuff. Now, the third thing is this, which is this magnet that's just floating around in the room. And because the Rancor is pretty much uber cybernetic, I mean, he's got like a robotic arm and stuff, he's made of metal, so him being under that would stun him, at least in the mechanics of this fight. That's what it does. And that's very important because, as you'll see coming up here, he'll pick up a giant pipe and start beating the crap out of me with it. You don't want that happening. You take a lot of damage, so getting him stunned as soon as he picks that up is ideal. Unfortunately, you can also be stunned by it, so knowing how to position I guess him to go through it without you going through it is going to take a bit of a delicate balance. As you'll see here, I'm trying to learn how to do that. This is, once again, our first time ever pulling this boss, and we one-shot him. Not to be too, surprised there. It is just story mode, so there's nothing too crazy. But it's good to know because that means you should be able to get in a random pug group and be able to do this no problem, which is, the point of story mode anyways. So, otherwise, that's pretty much the entire fight. He's got one other thing he does, which is like the red cone on the ground. Just don't face him towards the raid and you'll be fine. That's pretty much the basics of it. But, for the most part, it's a really fun fight, at least for me. I really like this fight, like I said earlier, because it keeps me busy. I have to be looking up in the air, looking for where the magnet is, where do I have to move the boss next, where do I position him. And you get kind of this rhythm as you go throughout the fight. I'm kind of curious what the hard mode bits of it are going to be. I think positioning is going to be a lot more crucial for the group, possibly keeping the group in the middle of the raid and when they have, or middle of the room, and then when they have the debuff, making someone run the hell away. I think that would be the best way to do it, at least in my perception of how this fight might pan out in hard mode. I'm assuming he'll do a lot more damage too, so getting him right under the magnet as I did there as soon as he picks up the pipe is going to probably be a lot more important. But with that all being said, like I said, that's pretty much the entire fight. I will let you see the rest of the fight though, so while we're doing this, and you're kind of seeing how the rest of the fight pans out, I'm going to mention something that I've been getting a lot of questions of through YouTube and Twitter and Facebook, just people sending me messages, and it's kind of strange because I usually don't get this when I get patch or preview content for the PTS going. Unfortunately, this time I've been getting a lot of these comments, which is that BioWare needs to fix a lot of bugs before they add new content, and I'm kind of baffled by that. I don't see, I see the logic behind it. Obviously fixing bugs is a good thing, but so is getting new content. And it's unfortunate because some people don't seem to understand that the bug team, the people who squash the bugs in the game, and the people who develop new content, that's two different teams. They're all part of the same development team, I guess you can call it, but they're two different parties within the studio. So you're still going to get new content regardless of them squashing bugs or not. Just keep that in mind as we go forward with new patch preview content on the PTS, because it's not like they're ignoring the rest of the stuff. They're trying to fix it. It's just difficult, and when you add new content, it does add more bugs, and I could see where that would get a little construed, but for the most part, you should accept new content because it's going to be a lot of fun. And I haven't even shown you the questing content on the PTS. The PTS is here for a reason also. It's here to get rid of the bugs before they even get in the game when the patch releases. So you can also put a lot of the credit on the bugs that are in the game on the people who are testing the content on the PTS. Obviously, we're not doing that good of a job if a ton of bugs are still getting through. So you can even help in that process by helping test the PTS. So just keep that in mind as we go forward, like I said. Otherwise, that's pretty much the entire boss fight. We one-shot him. It was a lot of fun. I can't wait to do him again. He's actually one of my favorite bosses in here. So it's exciting to have awesome content to look forward to. But on that note, we'll be back with more patch 2.4 content, hopefully sometime soon, and we shall see you guys next time.